Harry G. Lee is a leader in the sports equipment industry who has spent 4 decades building, transforming, and revitalizing iconic American brands.
I first started attending Weber State University in my early 20s. I got married at a young age. I had started a family. I was working 3 jobs.
Mr. Lee's talent and determination caught the attention of PepsiCo, which recruited him into its executive management training program.
Pepsi had recently acquired Wilson Sporting Goods, where I was working as a forklift driver. All of my great experience is centered around having great mentors. My first mentor in my career, really in my life, taught me how to focus, taught me about balance.
During 14 years at Wilson Sporting Goods, Mr. Lee forged a reputation for turning around underperforming divisions. In 1984, Mr. Lee co-founded Bell Sports, building a small helmet company into the industry's first multi-channel, multi-brand cycling helmet and accessory business, which he took public in 1992.
Happiness is an achieving, not achievement. And that actually came from Aristotle in about 300 BC. It has stood the test of time. I wake up thinking about that every day, and I have since my early 20s.
Mr. Lee co-founded USA Cycling and has served on numerous corporate and nonprofit boards, including the Boys and Girls Club and the Translational Genomics Research Institute.
I think mostly because of my experiences in life and the massive amount of help that I've had, I developed a pay-it-forward attitude. I always wanted to give back and make a difference at some point, and my family shares that philosophy.
In 2006, he and his wife Sarah founded the Lee Family Foundation with a mission to break the cycle of poverty through education.
We adopted a village, and our primary objective was to build a school. In order to break the chain of poverty, you have to educate children. You can't educate sick and starving children, however. We worked with Hope for Kids to dig deep water wells so they had clean water. We built a medical center, small medical center that had basic medical supplies, and we put a food program in place. So we got the kids healthy.
Weber State University is pleased to recognize Harry G. Lee with a Doctor of Humanities honorary degree.
Thank you, Leslie. I know you're very busy, but I'd like to hire you for my PR agent, if that's possible. That was a tremendous introduction. I'm very honored to be here. 50 years ago, I attended Weber State University, and I might set a record for this, but I never got a degree. And so maybe I'm the first person that got an honorary doctorate degree who didn't have a degree. I did get, as I said in that video, I got married when I was young, had a child, was working 3 jobs, and knew that I needed some education in order to have a good career. So I focused on taking classes like economics and finance and business, and actually spent some time in the School of Advanced Traffic, which was the division of Weber State at the time. I didn't know it at the time, but that foundation was very instrumental in everything that helped happen to me after that. And it was foundational in the sense that I kind of spent time getting educated in some areas that would help me in business. And I mentioned in that video also that I had some very good mentors. And because of those experiences, I decided that I wanted to be a very good mentor. And it started with my children. I wanted to mentor them, but it expanded to others, and I think that's one of the things that I enjoy the most. I do have a little funny story I'm going to tell you. I didn't know I was going to get the microphone. In fact, Betsy told me that I wasn't. So I kind of, this is going on the fly. But after Betsy gave me a call and I got this invitation, and of course I was delighted very, very honored. I called my best friend, who's a medical doctor, and he lives in California. He and I have been friends for 40 years. And I said, Dr. Wexler, after April 24th, you're going to have to call me doctor. And I told him about this honor. And he was impressed, and he talked with me for a few minutes. I hung up. 15 minutes later, he called me back, and he said, I do not have to call you doctor. I said, why is that? He says, because it's an honorary degree. And anyway, we had a good laugh about that. I just want to thank Weber State for being here, helping people like me who weren't able to, kind of follow a traditional route, but were able to come and get an excellent education. I think about the thousands of people that have gone through this institution and the really solid education that they've got. I can't remember who, but somebody said Weber State's known for its beautiful people. I didn't have a chance really to get to know a lot of people then, but I knew it was a quality institution. And I've always been proud. I never had any connection again after that with Weber State until I got a letter one day from President Wright and thanking me for being an alumni. And that kind of restarted my association with Weber. I spent some time in my business. I had a chance to spend some time with their athletic department. Got to know a lot of people. Julie Rich, give a shout out to her. 8 years ago, Julie brought 30 students from WSU over to Uganda, to our school over there. And they didn't just come over to visit, they came over to work. She worked with the engineering department. They designed a library for us. Our kids were too young at that time to actually use it, but we knew we wanted a library. We have since built that library. They also went to work painting and doing some miscellaneous things there, and they built 2 water fountains. I don't think a bush village in Uganda had ever seen a water fountain. In fact, I know they haven't. And they put the Weber State W, the purple W on both water fountains. And if any of you get a chance to come over there, not only will you see these kids drinking out of the fountain, they use it to take a shower. And anyway, I'm delighted. I won't take any more time, but this is just a huge honor. It took me 50 years. I get a degree.